There are two kinds of statistics, the kind you look up and the kind you make up. Hi and Hariom children. Today's topic is statistics. We will learn a short introduction about statistics. Let us start the session with prayer. Sit straight, close your eyes, take a deep breath, chant Om 3 times, followed by prayer.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम.
Learning objectives of statistics. Define statistics. Become aware of a wide range of application of statistics in business. Differentiate between descriptive and inferential statistics. Learn about population and samples. Collection of data. Types of data.
Statistics is often hailed as one of the most useful areas of mathematics. It helps us to make educated guesses of the unknown and find useful information in an ocean of data. But despite its usefulness, many people struggle with statistics. What is it? How does it work? For many, statistics feels like an unending collection of rules and formulas. Even worse, if it's misapplied, statistics can lead to false conclusions. This causes some people to develop a mistrust in the subject altogether. So, what is it all about then? Well, statistics is the area of mathematics which primarily deals with collecting and analyzing data. Some great examples might be keeping track of your favorite team as they rack up wins and losses, or perhaps using data to try and predict the outcome of an election. To be more specific, statistics can be broken down into the areas of sampling methods, descriptive statistics, and inferential statistics. In sampling methods, we cover how we collect our data. This is arguably the most important area of all of statistics. It's important because it ensures that we collect our data in just the right way so that we can make valid conclusions later on. It also helps us know when we have just enough information for further analysis. Remember that even if you use the best formulas and techniques, a study can quickly fall apart if you do not collect your data in just the right way. Descriptive statistics is about summarizing or highlighting important aspects of our data. When people think of statistics, they often think about this area. The tools here are about describing the information you have collected, and tasks such as graphing or calculating a simple average all fall under the area of descriptive statistics. Inferential statistics is about making predictions from our data. Here, the goal is to take just a small bit of information, analyze it carefully, and then see what conclusions we can infer about the bigger picture. It is this part of statistics that can seem the most mysterious. But in reality, it's one of the most powerful and allows us to find even more information from the data we've already collected. Now, when you take statistics, you may find that there are many other topics that don't seem to fall into these three areas. That's because statistics is not complete without exploring why the formulas and methods actually work, or more importantly, when they should be used. For this reason, other topics like probability form a healthy part of any statistics course. Think of these other topics as the framework and foundation that allow us to build so many other useful tools. Lastly, when taking statistics, you may find that you need a little bit of help. I'm not talking about your friend who happens to be great at math, I'm talking about using a calculator or computer. Although at some level, many of the formulas can be very simple, using them for even a handful of data points can quickly become tedious and cumbersome. The good news is technology can really help with the required calculations. Remember, even though you will certainly become familiar with using technology, you will still need to know when a tool needs to be applied or what method is the most appropriate. Hopefully that sheds a little bit of light on the subject of statistics and motivates you to learn a little bit more about it. In this video, we covered what statistics is and its three main areas of focus. We also pointed out that technology can be your ally, but in the end, you have to make the decisions.
A beverage company was interested to launch a new beverage. Now it had decided upon 3 flavors, out of which it could launch only one particular flavor. But they did not know that out of these 3 flavors, orange, lime and cola, which particular flavor to launch, because they did not know which flavor people would prefer. So what did they do? They hired an employee who was tasked with going around and asking people what flavor they would prefer. So this is the information that the employee obtained. This information that the employee obtained for a specific purpose is known as raw data. Now the employee has to present this data to his boss. But can he present it in this particular format? The employee cannot give this raw data to his boss because his boss is a busy man. And one look at this raw data is not going to convey any particular information. So what does the employee do? The employee proceeds to counting how many people have opted for orange, lime and cola respectively. So let us help him do so. Firstly, we calculate how many people have opted for orange. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we find that 23 people have opted for orange. So the employee writes orange 23, which indicates that 23 people out of the people he surveyed opted for orange. Now let us find out how many people have opted for lime. We find it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we find that 11 people have opted for lime. So the employee writes lime 11. Now we have to find how many people have opted for cola. So again we count the number of people who have opted for cola. We find it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we find that 10 people have opted for cola. So the employee writes cola 10. And this is what the employee gets. Orange opted by 23 people, lime opted by 11 people and cola opted by 10 people. So after getting this data, the employee proceeds to represent this data in a tabular format. So he constructs a table, writes the preferences of the 3 beverages that the company wants to launch, orange, lime and cola. And adjacent to those, he writes down the number of people who have opted for each of the 3 flavors. And this he presents to his boss. Now the boss, by one look at this data, will be easily able to say that the number of people wanting orange is much more than the number of people wanting lime or cola. So in this manner, with the help of this representation of data, the boss will be able to decide which beverage the company should launch in order to satisfy its customers. So this is what is known as statistics. Statistics is nothing but the collection and representation of data. Now this collection and representation of data can be done in 2 ways. These 2 ways of collection of data are known as primary collection of data and secondary collection of data. So what is primary collection of data? Data that was collected by the person herself or himself is known as primary collection of data. In the example which we have considered, the employee going around asking people what flavor of beverage they want, that indicates primary collection of data. Why? Because the data that was collected did not exist previously. It was collected by the employee himself. Next, we come to secondary collection of data. Secondary collection of data is data that was collected from a source which already had the information. So let us say that you have a project which your school teacher has given you. And in order to do this project, you refer to certain materials on the internet or from certain books. So that data which you collect from the internet or books already existed previously. So you're simply collecting information that was previously there. This is secondary collection of data. So statistics can be applied in many spheres of life, and it helps us in many ways. One of the examples of application of statistics is marketing, as we saw in our example. In marketing, what usually happens is companies conduct extensive surveys of its customer base because they want to find out what particular product their customers prefer. After the survey has been conducted, they find out what particular product their customers are opting for. And in that manner, by launching that particular product, they will be able to satisfy their customers as well as increase their profits. And this is one of the prime examples of the application of statistics. So where else do you think that statistics is applied? Statistics also finds extensive application in medical studies and predicting diseases. Now you must have heard that smoking causes lung cancer, and I'm sure it is a very common warning given everywhere. Now how is this conclusion reached that smoking causes lung cancer? What the doctors do, they take a consideration of, let's say, 100 or 1,000 patients. Now when they consider these patients who already have cancer, their medical histories are checked along with their background. Now in majority of the cases it is found that these patients who have cancer are also heavy smokers. So since majority of the cancer patients are also smokers, a conclusion is reached that smoking causes cancer, more particularly lung cancer. And it is in this way that statistics helps us and the doctors in studying the nature of diseases. Now statistics helps us in studying not only what has happened, but also in what is about to happen. Or in other words, statistics helps us in forecasting. One of the prime examples of forecasting is weather forecasting. You must have often seen in news channels as well as newspapers that the weather person or the weather report predicts what the weather is going to be for the next few days. This is done with the help of statistics. A vast collection of data exists of previous days or previous months or even years. And looking at that data, the weather people are able to say what the weather is going to be like over the next few days or even the next few months. So this is one of the examples where statistics uses forecasting in order to help us. Another place where statistics helps us is in stock market. Statistics uses forecasting in stock market by telling people who deal in shares and bonds what the prices of these shares and bonds are going to be in a period of time in the future. So knowing this information, these traders will be able to make their decisions accordingly so that they do not incur losses and they are able to make profits. So in this manner, we find that statistics is helping us not only in studying what has already happened, but also in studying what is about to happen. And thus, an understanding of statistics is absolutely necessary.
Learning outcomes. In this chapter, you have learned about how to find, collect, and organize data, how to generate data from other sources, types of data, populations and samples, how to select a sample. Now, let us recap some important points, children. Primary data. The data which are collected from the field under the control and supervision of an investigator. Primary data means original data that has been collected specially for the purpose in mind. This type of data are generally fresh and collected for the first time. It is useful for current studies as well as for future studies. For example, your own questionnaire. Secondary data. Data gathered and recorded by someone else prior to and for a purpose other than the current project. Secondary data is the data that has been collected for another purpose. It involves less cost, time, and effort. Secondary data is the data that is being reused, usually in a different context. For example, data from a book.
Sit down on the ground comfortably. Without moving your head and neck, look upwards and then downwards. Keep your neck and back straight. Now look at the sides alternating with the left and right. Do not move your neck while looking sideways. Now look to your left, then look upwards. Move your eyes right and then look down. Look upwards, to your right, and then down. Now look upwards, then to your left and down. Now alternatively, look to your left once after looking upwards, before looking down, and then look to your right the next time after looking up. Close your eyes and rest for some time. Sit comfortably and bring your hands straight forward at shoulder height and raise your thumbs. Look at your thumbs. Slowly spread apart your hands. Look at your left and right thumbs alternatively while spreading your hands apart. Bring your hands together, continuing to look at your left and right thumbs alternatively. Close your eyes and rest for some time.
पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।